past tense and the past continuous tense statement 3. In this exercise, we're going to talk about when and how to use the past simple tense and the past continuous tense. As in before, we used the past continuous tense to talk about a continuous or long action in the past. We use be, were, was, were with VING. So let's look at the questions. 2 days ago, I in a terrible car accident. Now, you can see in this sentence, the time marker lies with the words 2 days ago. It was talking about an event happened 2 days ago. So we use the past tense to talk about it. So the answer is have. The past tense is had. So 2 days ago, I had a terrible car accident. While I in my car and the radio broadcast a motorcycle out of nowhere and against the door next to the driver's seat. Now, as you can see in this sentence, it's such a long sentence, but in this sentence you can see the key word is actually the word while. So when you see while, you know that we have to use while with the longer action, which is the sentence that is written in the past continuous. So while I was driving my car, and of course ing here, because their two ideas are connected by the word and. They have to be identical in tenses. So while I was driving and listening, they share the same be, were, was to the radio broadcast a motorcycle out of nowhere and against the door next to the driver's seat. You can see the following sentence, unlike the previous one, is actually a relatively short action. So we use past tense with the sentence over here. So a motorcycle, the past tense of come, it's came. The motorcycle came out of nowhere, and past tense, knock is a regular verb, so add ed, knocked against the door next to the driver's seat. Alright, continue. The impact was very strong. It's the rider flying and my arm instantly. Now, you can see that actually both of the actions are shorter. There is no need for a past continuous, so we used past tense to write about them. It's sent. The past tense of sent is sent, S-E-N-T. So he sent the rider flying, and past tense broke. Broke my arm instantly. Instantly means right away. I quickly out of the car and look at the rider to see if he was okay. You can see that both actions are not continuous actions. These are just things happen in the past, so we use the past tense. The past tense of get is got, so I quickly got out of the car, and past tense of take is took, and took a look at the rider to see if he was okay. Now, while I to him several onlookers, photos, and videotaping everything with the cell phones. The key word of the sentence is the word while. When you see while, you know you have to use this with the continuous action, and most likely the sentence will be written in the past continuous. So past continuous, I was walking to him. Several onlookers, shorter action. The past tense of take is took, but you see the two ideas actually connected by the word and we say previous sentence that and connects two identical ideas with identical tenses, which connect two ideas with identical tenses, the same tense. So you can see here it has ing, which means over here it is written in the past continuous tense. So several onlookers was taking photos and videotaping everything with the cell phone. If this one were written in the past tense, which is videotaped, then we can use past tense here, took. But since it is written in the continuous, past continuous tense, this one must be remained as the past continuous tense as well. So several onlookers was taking photos and videotaping everything with their cell phone. No one, not even one of them, to call the police or the ambulance. It's a short action, something happened in the past, so it's past tense. The past tense of try is tried. Remember to drop y and add ied. Alright? Now, my arm like hell, also in past tense, so my arm hurt like hell because hurt, 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 they're all the same. So the answer is try to call the police or the ambulance. My aunt hurt like hell, but the rider hurt even more badly than I was. We have to put a beaver here, and the only beaver that we can use with the rider and also in past tense was. Okay, so but the rider was hurt even more badly than I was. I to talk to him and try and to get him to stay conscious. Now, also, start is not a word that you use with continuous tense. It's usually and most likely used with past tense. The start is a regular verb, so the past tense is I started to talk to him, and past tense too, as we say before, and connects two ideas with identical tenses. Started here, tried here. Okay, so I started to talk to him and tried to get him to stay conscious. I my both hands onto the wound and to apply pressure so blood won't come out so fast. Also, something happened in the past. I put my both hands onto his wound and apply pressure so blood won't come out so fast. When the bleeding finally, something happened in the past. So when the bleeding finally stopped, he said something, but it too soft. Also, past tense, the only beaver in past tense that can be used with the pronoun it is was, but it was too soft. I leaned over to hear what he say something. So at the moment when I leaned over, actually he was saying something. So for this one, we have to use the past continuous. So he was saying something, but also for this one you can also use said. It's fine. But when you use it with the past continuous tense, it's telling the reader that it was actually an action in motion, something that was happening while you when you lean over. Okay, so when he asked me to call his wife and kids, tell them he was sorry that he couldn't make it. The ambulance, also a past tense, arrived 5 minutes later, and also and connects two ideas with identical tenses, past tense here and past tense here, took us to the hospital. It was no doubt the longest 5 minutes in my life. Alright, I will read the answers for you. Listen carefully and look at your sheet. 2 days ago, I had a terrible car accident. While I was driving my car and listening to the radio broadcast, a motorcycle came out of nowhere and knocked against the door next to the driver's seat. The impact was so strong, it sent the rider flying and broke my arm instantly. I quickly got out of my car and took a look at the rider to see if he was okay. While I was walking to him, several onlookers was taking photos and videotaping everything with their cell phones. No one, not even one of them, tried to call the police or the ambulance. My arm hurt like hell, but the rider was hurt even more badly than I was. I started to talk to him and tried to get him to stay conscious. I put my both hands onto his wound to apply pressure so blood won't come out so fast. When the bleeding finally stopped, he said something, but it was too soft. I leaned over to hear what he was saying, and he asked me to call his wife and kids to tell them he was sorry that he couldn't make it. The ambulance arrived 5 minutes later and took us to the hospital. It was, no doubt, the longest 5 minutes in my life. So let's look at the vocabulary down below. Number 1, broadcast. Broadcast. Number 2, impact. Impact. Number 3, send something flying. Send something flying. Number 4, instantly. Instantly. Number 5, onlooker. Onlooker. Number 6, videotape. Videotape. Number 7, ambulance. Ambulance. Number 8, hurt like hell. Something hurt like hell. Number 9, stay conscious. Stay conscious. Number 10, wound. Wound. Number 11, apply pressure. Apply pressure on something. Usually we use it with wound or cut. Number 12, bleeding. Bleeding. Number 13, lean over. Lean over. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you for watching.